Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank you so much for stopping by today, especially my new viewers and new subscribers. Your kindness, your generosity, your support of my channel has truly been amazing, and I'll never take that for granted. I'm a 57-year-old American who grew tired of the rat race and decided, you know what, I'm going to pack it all up. I'm going to move to the Philippines in search for new life. Well, I found that new life, and I want to share with you my boots on the ground experiences. My boots on the ground experiences. The only way I know how, that's by giving you the nitty gritty. Exactly what I'm seeing, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. I'm never going to sugarcoat that. It's not going to start today. The subject of my vlog today is the 3 I's that destroy Filipino foreigner relationships. Incompatibility, infidelity, and irreconcilable differences. Now, before I start, though, I want to address a question that was sent to me by one of my subscribers. He says, Calvin, I don't have a whole lot of money when I come to the Philippines. He says, are there any ideas you can give me to save money so I have more to spend when I get there? And I did some research and, did based on my experiences. A good plan, man, before you make any trip, it's probably the best thing that you could possibly do to save money, save time, to have more money to spend on the things that are important. Here's the 3 main things that you're going to spend money on as far as the cost. Number 1 is your ticket over here, your round-trip ticket here, because you do need a round-trip plane ticket to come to the Philippines, especially from America, or you need an onward ticket. And according to a research by Expedia.com, international flights, it's best to book them cheapest on Thursday or Friday. It's always best to book them 3.5 weeks to 3.5 months out. Okay, now of course in the summertime, you're going to want to do that even further out because of the increased travel. But travel, and I'm going to give you an example of what I did. Don't just get on a plane and come over to the Philippines like I did in 2009, and it cost me. I didn't do any research, I didn't look around, I didn't shop around, so I ended up spending $2,500 for a round-trip ticket from Louisville, Kentucky to Cebu City on Korean Air, and then 1 week in the hotel. It cost me $2,500. That's a lot of money. Now, when I came here December 5th, 2018, I booked my trip 2 months in advance, and I stayed in an Airbnb. It cost me $1,800 for 3 people. You see how I was able to save by doing a little planning, by doing a little research. So your ticket is number 1. Your accommodations is number 2. And really, there's 3 ways you can go over here. You can go with the manufactured hotel and pension house, okay? Or you can go with the Airbnb. The Airbnb is going to be cheaper. It's more unique. You're going to be in a you can choose your neighborhoods. It's going to be cheaper because you can. The longer you stay in an Airbnb, the cheaper it is. And it's not uncommon for you to be able to rent a whole house or a whole condominium for 1 month for the same price you're going to pay for that hotel. I just don't like hotels. To me, they're dirty. They're manufactured. A lot of them don't have restaurants. And that's another reason, see, because in Airbnb, and this is what I suggest, you get you one with a kitchen. Because that's going to parlay into the next thing, which is your food, eating. See, so your plane ticket, your accommodations, and then your food, eating. When you're in an Airbnb, you're going to have your own kitchen. So you can cook your own foods. Will this be cheaper? In the short run, no. But in the long run, yes. You go to the supermarket and you do your shopping, you're going to have a vast variety of selections versus a restaurant. And then you can basically cook the foods that you want. If you want tacos, good luck finding them here in San Carlos City. But you can buy the ingredients for tacos in the grocery store and cook that at home. You're going to have peace of mind. You're going to know whose hands have been touching my food. Sanitation is a big deal over here in the Philippines, especially with foreigners. See, a lot of us get sick over here because of the sanitation. Well, this way, you know who's touching the food, you know where it's been. So the longer you plan out your meals, the more money you're going to save, and you get that peace of mind. So that's just 3 of the ways that you're going to really save some money, man, because it makes all the difference when you come to a place like the Philippines. If you can save $500 and you're going to be here, which is easily, I mean, you can really save, I would say, $500 to $1,000 by planning those 3 things properly. And that's the money that you spend on your trip while you're here. That makes sense? Okay, now, what I want to talk about today is, and I'm not a relationship guru or anything like that. Remember, I give you my boots on the ground experiences, and I tell you just exactly what I'm living, what I'm seeing, what I'm experiencing, and it's not going to change today, ladies and gentlemen. You know, relationships should be easy. They should just work, and that's probably the reason why a lot of Filipino and foreigner relationships succeed. They just do. There's no explanation for it. But there's a lot of reasons why they are hard, why they're difficult, and then they just simply end. They fail. I've given you the 3 I's as sort of an explanation to kind of show you what I've seen, what I've experienced in these relationships. And the first thing is incompatibility. And there's a lot of things that make us incompatible with the Filipino. The age gap, the culture, our goals, sex, communication. But here's the nitty gritty, man. I'm not going to play around with you. The number one things that get us in trouble with Filipinos is, number one is that communication, man. It's hard to understand each other. We're misinterpreting one another, and that leads to a lot of stress, a lot of arguments, a lot of nagging, and things like that. And number 2 is sex. I'm going to be honest with you. Filipinos, they're very conservative. They have a lot of taboos. Sometimes we're just not a physical match. Just like, John said, he was too big for the girl, so he had to, dissolve the relationship. But there's a lot of reasons that you can be incompatible. A lot of times when you're older, you've already established your career, or you may even be retired. So you want her to follow your lead. So that means she has to sacrifice her success, her goals. And see, after a while, man, that leads to bitterness and resentment, man. So incompatibility, and the age gap has a lot to do with that, man, because I'm going to tell you, after the dust settles, man, you're not going to have a whole lot in common with the 20-something-year-old, 30-something year old when you're 60-something years old. One of my subscribers said it best. He said, man, he said, after the sex, there's no deep conversations. Well, he's right and he's wrong, because a lot of times us men, we're not really interested in any deep conversations on down the line. But incompatibility. Infidelity is number 2. And believe it or not, here we come again with this age gap. Because I'm going to tell you something, man. Believe it or not, and Filipinos are conservative, but they want sex, guys. And a lot of times we can't give it to them, or we can't give it to them enough. All right? Or she may have chosen you for some ulterior motives to get to your country, to achieve the better way of life. And then once she's gotten that, and then she starts seeing the things about you that she really doesn't like, and that makes her stray. All right, but and I'm gonna give you an example. Like I told you, a friend of mine. Well, I'm not consider them friends, but the woman is. She's a friend of my wife. Her boyfriend at the time came over here. He only came over here for 4 days. Imagine that. That's a red flag. And he went back. He couldn't stand the heat and all of that. Well, they didn't have sex or anything. Well, she thought, oh, he's a gentleman. Well, when they get back to America, no, he's a diabetic. He's on medication. It won't allow him to get an erection, won't allow him to have sex. So that led to other things, guys. So, infidelity. And then when you come over here as a man, if all your running is not out of you, if you haven't sold all your oats by the time you get over here, you're just going to be like a kid in a candy shop over here, man. And it's going to be hard for you to maintain a committed relationship because there's just going to be so many available ladies for whatever reason. And that's going to make you stray because a lot of men, we stray because we want more sex. We want more affection. And remember, I did a video before. A lot of times we can't tell the woman we love them. So that's our way of showing them that we love them. And if she withdraws some sex or she doesn't want to have it as much as you want to or the way you want to, then you're going to look for something else. Women, a lot of times, they will stray for emotional reasons, the communication. She doesn't feel appreciated and all of that. But basically, guys, I'm going to tell you, it's the nitty gritty again. It's usually going to come down to that sex. See, if you're sexually compatible, if you're willing to sacrifice for each other, to satisfy each other's needs, you're not going to have a problem with infidelity. All right, especially when she goes to your country. And when you come here, a lot of times, if your running is not out of you, if you're not settled, and you haven't sold all your oats, man, it's gonna be a problem staying faithful over here. So infidelity. And number 3, man, is irreconcilable differences. This could be anything, man. It could be money. It could be the way you raise your kids. It could be her family. But the bottom line, the 2 things, and them are the top 3 things I'm gonna talk about. Because it could be a lot of things. It could be religion. Because I'm not very religious, but it's no problem with my girlfriend or when I was married with my wife because I let them, I didn't discourage them from going to church or anything like that. I just didn't go. Sometimes I did. But the number one thing is going to be money, man, And irreconcilable differences just means that, the marriage can't be fixed. It's so different and so difficult that we're not even going to try. We're not going to blame each other, but we just can't fix it. So we just go our separate ways. But money usually is the number one because you're used to handling more money than she is. And it's going to be a problem when you get together and now she has access to more money. She's used to running a very, very tiny budget. Now all of a sudden you put $2,000-$3,000 of money in her hands, it's going to be problems, guys. She's going to start doing things. If you think I'm playing, even the best marriages, man, like, man, with my Filipino, man, I had a good marriage, but when it comes to money, man, she does not know how to handle money. It's created all kinds of problems, man, that I've had to clean up, and it's turned into irreconcilable differences. Parenting, the way you raise your kids, man, all 3 of my children over here, let me tell you something, man. I can't even discipline my own kids. They got something to say. That's crazy. That's irreconcilable differences. I'm the father. I'm 50% of the parent. I should have a 50% say in how my kids is going to be raised, but it doesn't work that way. They've got a totally different way of raising kids, and you may have a totally different way of raising kids. You may not want to spare the ride, and they definitely spare the ride over here. So parenting, and then of course the family, man. This is what I've seen a lot of times that causes a lot of split. Some guys, they're just not going to support the family. And the Filipino says, I'm not going to budge from that. My family needs help. They need help. So if you're unwilling to help my family, then we're not going to be together. So you got incompatibility. You're just naturally so different as you can't coexist. So you go your separate ways. Infidelity. Men want sex, man. They want it often. That's their way of showing love and affection. And if a woman doesn't want to have it as much as you do or the way you want to do it, we're going to split. We're going to go out and look for something else. Also, if you haven't sold all your oats, if you still got a run in you, it's not going to be good for you to settle over here because there's going to be so many available women. The temptation is too great, guys. Take it from me. I'm telling you, from my own experience. And then with women, they stray because they don't feel appreciated. You know, Filipinos are a lot of things, but they're not stupid. They may look at you and think, oh, he wants me, it's sex. You have to reassure her because she's very insecure. If not, you take her to that country, man, your faults are going to start glaring. And she's going to start looking elsewhere, man, and going to find somebody else. And then irreconcilable differences. You know, it's just so great that the marriage can't be fixed. You know, you're spending too much money. You don't appreciate me. I'm going to have a say-so in how my kids are raised. And I'm not dealing with your family. The Filipina stands strong on that. She stands firm on that. You either take care of my family too, or let me take care of them, or you don't want to be with me. Okay? I'm going to spare the rod. Don't hit my child. Don't even discipline him. Even you're the father. All right? And yeah, you give me more money, I'm going to start buying stuff I normally don't buy, that I can't afford normally. It's human nature, guys. So there you have it, the 3 I's that destroy Filipino foreign relationships. Remember, relationships should be easy. They just work. And that explains why so many Filipino foreign relationships succeed. They just do. There's no explanation for it. But a lot of them fail. And it's usually, from what I see and what I've experienced, the 3 I's. Incompatibility, infidelity, and irreconcilable differences. So thank you so much for stopping by today. I really, really appreciate it. If you're in America, it's late. Before you let your head hit the pillow, please find somebody to help. But if you're on one of them late grocery runs, beer runs, weed runs, you're just getting off second shift, or you're on your lunch break and you see somebody in the street, buy them something to eat, buy them something to drink, give them a couple of dollars. If you're in the Philippines, it's about 9 o'clock in the morning. We have the whole rest of the day to find somebody to help. There's no excuse not to intentionally go out and find somebody to help. That electronic community pantry that I've started, guys, it's a phenomenal success. We're giving away some bags of rice and groceries today. I just simply go out and buy the rice and groceries, spin the wheel, and one of my Filipino subscribers, whose ever names comes up, wins the prize, man. You know, I do it indiscriminately. I can't be accused of playing favorites. And it's really, really helping people, guys. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. We help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay COVID free. I'll see you next time.